Hi Flosstube, I'm Lori and welcome to Once Upon a Stitch. Today is Sunday, December 17th, 2023. I think I was about to say November, and I think that's what the problem lies. I am so behind schedule. I thought I had 2 weeks to Christmas. It's a week from tomorrow. Now I'm panicking. Yeah, I had a little meltdown earlier with my husband because I was so upset that I thought I had 2 weeks. That being said, I'm glad I'm able to be here with you today. It probably will be a short video, but I wanted to show you 2 FFOs that I finished before I give them away. So that's part of this video. I'm going to show you my WIPs. I had some new starts, had very few questions. I had some happy mail, which was really it made me cry. So do you call it happy mail? So I'll share that with you. And what I wanted to say was thank you for your continued support and prayers for our family and for me. Yeah, it's a little bit difficult. Since the last time we were together, we had Thanksgiving, which was actually Layla's birthday and would have been Libby's. So we went to visit the cemetery, and then we went over to Rebecca's mom to celebrate Thanksgiving and Layla's birthday. And everybody was moved of the day and what wasn't there with us and who wasn't there with us. But we got through it. Then I had my in-laws over for that Saturday after Thanksgiving, so that they can share Libby's birthday. No, Layla's. I'm not going to restart this. I mean, it's going to probably be like that forever, maybe, where I'm going to say one's name when I mean the other, just because they're both in my heart. So I'll do my best in keeping it on target. For anybody who's new to my channel, if you want to hear this story, it's in episode 132. And what I want to say to my regular viewers is, if you ever have a question about what happened to Libby or the journey that we took, don't be afraid to ask. I would love to share the story or answer any questions that I can. If we can help one other family get through a difficult time, I would be more than happy to do that. Even though it might make me tear up talking about it, but I'm willing to share. So if you have questions, please don't hesitate. Don't feel like, oh, I would like to know, but I don't want to ask. Ask is what I'm saying. Okay. So moving forward, I don't know if I'm supposed to, if I should share these Christmas cards, because I don't want people who don't send me Christmas cards feel bad that they don't. But I've been seeing that on Flosstubes, a lot of people show the Christmas cards that they receive. So I am, of course, behind on my Christmas cards. I guess it's what happened, and it just affects everything in your life. So moving forward, I'm very grateful just for the well wishes on your comments. And these are the people who have sent me a Christmas card. This is from Nicole Stitcher. This one is from Eva, a viewer on my channel. This is from my dear friend Dena, half stitch, cross stitch. This is from Cindy's cross stitch. You could almost tell, like looking at the pictures, who would have sent it. She loves Charlie Brown. This is from my stitching friend Terry. This is from Kathy and Darren, Kathy is to Dye House, right? On Flosstube. These are still in the envelope because I just received them. And this is Debbie. This one is from my dear friend, Alice. Alice was very kind to our family and to Michael and Rebecca. And this is from my dear, dear friend, Dee and Bruce and Mimi and the Bandit, her cats. So thank you. Okay. I continue to get cards regarding Libby. So thank you, everybody who sent one. I plan on keeping these forever, as long as I'm alive. And when I need to, I go through them. Okay, so this is some happy mail that came. First, it came with a beautiful card with the most beautiful sentiment in there. And I'm just going to read the last line, even though I didn't get permission to do that. It just said, even though she flew away, in your heart, she will forever stay. So that was from Lindsi, who has a floss tube. She's Blushing Pink Stitches and an Etsy shop. She started Flosstube, I don't even know if it's 2 years. Has it been 2 years, Lindsi? But she became a very, very dear friend. And so she made me some floss drops with butterflies. She sent a needle minder. And she stitched this. I was so overwhelmed when I saw this, that somebody, you know, took the time, found a pattern. I was just, wow. Lindsi, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I shared this with Rebecca and Mike. We won't go there. So, thank you. Okay, moving forward. I want to thank Stephanie and Pam, or is it Pam and Steph, from Just Keep Stitching. They shouted me out as their gold Flosstuber. So thank you so much. I mean, I watched them from day one when they filmed that first episode out on the porch. And that was the only one they did out there because the lighting was behind them. So it was a dark video. And I mean, I remember it as if it was yesterday. And was it 5, 6 years ago? I don't know off the top of my head, but thank you so much. Yes, it's true. Pam and I loved stitching a lot of the same stuff. So it was a shock to hear my name again. Alrighty. Somebody asked when I'm stitching, how do I measure my threads? So basically I go like this. I cut it. And then I take one strand and loop it and do the loop start. I don't measure per se. I basically do that, especially when I'm working with I just grabbed one out of the drawer. Especially when I'm working with DMC floss. If I'm working with a highly variegated floss, then what I would do is I would just go shorter distance, cut it, take 2 strands out, and make sure that they lie in the same direction so that the variegation is the same. Otherwise, you might as well just do a loop method with that and it won't be as variegated. But that's how I do it. I don't measure per se, like 18 inches, 22 inches, 15 for the, you know, I just go like that, basically. Okay, let's see if I have any other questions that I forgot. Oh, I know. I asked in my last video about finishing because I wanted to do a WIPGO board, and in each of the box I wanted to put a specific type of finishing, whether it's a flat fold, a pillow, a framed. And you know, a lot of people gave me a lot more ideas, like a Christmas tree, the mattress, but even a sleigh, finishing on a sleigh. But the thing is, I have to have something that's finished already that would work for that. And right now, I don't have anything that would fit into a Christmas tree shape, which means that I would have to add to the 40 new starts that I'm already planning for 2024. So I absolutely appreciate everybody's suggestion. And it just gave me a thought that maybe in the following year, like maybe stitch something that would finish as a mattress. I do have one of those hands-on designs mattress patterns. So I do have that. I do have a sleigh pattern. So it's just a matter of doing it and then finishing in that way. So thank you for everybody who made suggestions to me. As far as this year's WIPGO is basically over this month for 2023. I did not do very well. I didn't do very well because I didn't have too many WIPGOs. I had 4. 1, 2, 3, and the diagonal 4. And the reason is because my goals were ones that I was supposed to work over months, like, because I only do 2 days a month. So I had put so many hours. And one I didn't even touch at all this year, and that was a mini Mandela. I'm not crazy about the pattern itself because I had to copy it and tape it together. One day I will pick that up and can't show you the pattern, but I'll explain what I mean better. So, yeah. So like I did complete a lot of goals and whether they were finishes or not, but they weren't in the right place to line up. So that was WIPGO. This is the December 2023 acrostic for the 24 hours of cross stitch 24 hours of cross stitch, and the word was free spirited. So I'm working on this. I'm working to get through it. And this is what for the monthly magazine monthly challenge. And that word was voyage. And I'm just missing right now the O for Oh Holy Night. And I will be working on that tonight and tomorrow. So that will be completed for this month. Okay, so let's see how many I said finishes. Oh, I had 47 finishes this year. Not fully finishes, but finishes, 47. So that's pretty good. Let's see. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, now my fully finished pieces. My husband had to cut the frames on these, and then we painted them. I signed them, and this is Welcome Friends. I talked to my husband about things too. When we were doing frames, and we were originally going to do a white frame and didn't like it. I had a white frame, so I put it next to it. There's no white in this picture really, so I didn't like the way it looked. So I decided on a red. He had 2 shades of red, and this is what we came up with. So this will be hanging in Layla's bedroom. And I checked with them to make sure that they wanted it. They didn't see the fully finished yet. I just want to put something over it so I can lay the next one on it. The next fully finished piece I have is, and this also had to be cut down and then resized. I signed it. And this is Opening Gambit by Long Dog Samplers. You know, I did the Templar Prophecy for Michael, and this one is also for Michael. And I really, really enjoyed working on the long dogs. But with that being said, I think I'm going to take a break for this year because there isn't one that like stands out above the rest for me right now. So I'm just going to wait, and sometimes things take time to grow on you. And right now, I'm going to wait till she does maybe some newer ones. She has this huge one out that I would never attempt. No. And I don't even remember the name of it. So that's my fully finished on Opening Gambit. Okay, now what have I been working on? Actually, I had a new start. And I had to start these new starts because next month, the Magazine Monthly Challenge is holding what they call a BRINGO. And the group is open to anybody who is interested. And you go to it's called the Magazine Monthly Challenge in Facebook. And I think you answer maybe 3 questions. And then they have, you know, some rules of being kind and thoughtful to other viewers, participants. And then you're accepted, and then you get to see what the acrostic is for the month. And when they have 2 a year, these special months, which is in January, it's called BRINGO with a BRR, as in winter's burr, it's cold. And then in September, for the start of school, they have ABC Cinco, which is the alphabet minus 1 letter, because they do it for 25 days, and they give you the rest of the month to catch up if you weren't able to stitch for whatever reason on a particular day. Then every night, the night before, Carolyn Zook, who is on C Zook Stitch on YouTube, she's one of the administrators, and she usually posts the number. And then you go to that number and see what it is, whether, like, if it was number 1, I don't remember, I think it was stitch on your smallest whip. And then, so then you, that day, whatever your goal is. Now my goal, I think I put, I don't even remember if I put 3 hours or 1 hour. I might have put 1 hour, but I always stitch on it for the whole day anyway. Whatever it's called, it's usually what I stitch on for the whole day. And then you put your stitches on. You take a picture before. That's my problem, is remembering that before picture. So you take your picture before, and then you take your picture after, and then you post it. And then that night they call the next day, so you know what you're stitching the next day. Now, so that's how basically the months work. And on the ABC Cinco, they call a letter instead of a number, and then whatever you put down. So I needed something that was small, and I needed something that was monotone. Is it monotone? One color? A one color piece. Because when we got the list ahead of time so we can plan for it. And I had to make changes already because I finished something that I didn't think I was going to finish. And I even brought it into my list for next year. And, you know, like, oh, now my list is messed up because I finished something. So anyway, so the first thing that I started was Sew in Love, sew spelled S-E-W. And this is by I Stitch Designs. And I don't know if you remember, I stitched this once before. And I did gave it away when I attended the New Jersey Stitch Retreat. I am stitching this with a silk, but I have no idea what the color is other than red. I don't know where the label went. I found it in the drawer, and the only reason I know it's silk because it's more than 6 strands. And I'm stitching it on a white, I think it's 16 count. I didn't count it, but I don't think, no, let's see. You know, this is what drives me crazy. I think I stitched, this must be an 18 count because I did it with 1 thread. At my age, you just don't remember. I'm sorry. So I think this is an 18 count Ada. And I have it down, I think, in one place on the BRINGO board where it was stitched for 1 colored piece. Is it monogamous? No. Monochromatic. Yay, the brain worked. Monochromatic. Yeah, so that would be for this piece. I don't know when they're going to call it, but hopefully I can even finish it by then. In that one night of stitching. Okay. So that was work. I worked on 2 days. This one is my Mirabilia, Elizabeth. And what I do at the end of the year, in November, I get last year's list of how many days I worked on a project. And I have the start date and I have the days that I worked on it. And then I add this year's days. So I haven't finished this month, so I haven't added all of the days to see how many days I worked on a project. But Elizabeth, I worked on in December. I added the 2 days. So in total days so far, I've worked on her for 14 days. And this time I picked her up. This looks really horrible. I stitched her hand. I started from here and I started working on her arms. I don't, you know, like, it just doesn't look right, but 2 days and move on. So this is where I'm at so far. Let me fold it so I don't have a board like everybody shows. Let's see if I can do this. And this is stitched on a sterling silver Lugana, 28 count. So you can see it all, yeah. So I could have gone like in these sections where I was working last and filling in and stuff. But for me, the skin is the hardest on these ladies. And so that's why I decided to go back. And I want to work on her arm. And then there's a chair. Oh, I forgot to show the picture. Here's the picture. So I'm working like across here. And then I want to come down and put the chair in. So now that you've seen the picture, now you understand where I'm at. And the empty stitches in here are for beads that I will do at the end. Now, for those who stitch Mirabilia a lot, I mean, I think this is the largest lady. I have done Geranium. Do I have her here? No. I stitched Geranium. She was a Nora Corbett, so she was smaller. So I think I was able to put her all in one Q-snap and bead her. Now this one, I'm not sure if it'll fit in 11 by 17 at the end, but that's what I'm thinking of doing, is putting it into the 11-17 and then beading it at the end. And I chose this one to start with because it didn't have that many beads. Might be some like just the outlining of the skirt down here, but I don't see any in this section where a lot of times they're heavily beaded, and then there's some in her hair. So I did this as like still learning to work on Mirabilias. Let's see if I can scoot you over just for a tad. I guess a pillow's in the way. That last picture. Sorry. This was Nora Corbett, and this is free on her website. It's the angel with the tree. And I also did the angel with the bird, but I gave that away to my cousin in Italy. Okay, don't move. Okay. Let me just scoot you back over. Okay. This one is Winter in the Village by Stony Creek. And I was working on this house here, which is, or building, or it's the toy store. And I put in 15 days. And I think, I almost want to say I started this last December. Because my goal this year on WIPGO was the first 2 houses. So, yeah, I think I started it December of 2023. This is stitched on a 28 count ivory Lugana. And I completed the stitching on the toy store. I did not do any of the back stitching. I had to do a little bit of the next building, the tree and the bark, trunk of the tree with the branches in order to be able to outline. So the next time I pick this up, I will do outlining, I think, unless there's a specific number of stitches I have to get through instead of hours, then I might start the next house and count stitches. So this is all outlined up to here. So now the next house will get outlined. And I love these houses, this row of houses. And okay, I know a lot of you started stitching Autumn in the Village after I finished mine or while I was working on it. I hope you join on Winter because I think I almost enjoy it as much, if not more, than Autumn. Okay. This is the Red House Sampler by Brenda Keyes. And I think I started this a while ago. I don't have those dates in front of me, but I put in 29 days on this sampler. And I think what pushes me not to stitch on it as much as I should is the fabric. I used the call for fabric, but I'm not crazy about it. It's an 18 pound Rustico. And the fact that they called for Ada in itself, I said, if my store had it, I was going to buy it. And they did have it, so I bought it. And it fit on a fat quarter, so I decided to stitch on it. But I stitch over with 2 threads, so some sections feel tight to me. So I think that's why I'm not enjoying it as much as, or moving along as quickly as I could. So I started the house. There's a man here. I gave up on him and I decided I wanted to start the house. So that's what I did. And that's where I'm at. Can you see it? So I really don't have too much to go. I have the bottom section. I'm hoping to finish this in 2024. Am I putting that down in writing? No. But I would like to try to finish it. Carol, the Saltbox Stitcher, I know, is also working on the Red House Sampler. Oh, this I made a mistake on, but it's a mistake where I can just keep going. This is Quaker Christmas 2 by Bygone Stitches. And you really can't see the end here. The picture, like the fabric is folded here and it doesn't capture the whole design. But I went across the top, so I know it's the width of the fabric works. And now I started going down and I got quite a bit accomplished. Only now I'm doing this on a 28 count. I think it's cream. Let's see. Nope, ivory. 28 count ivory Lugana. And this is what I've stitched on since the last, I got quite a bit done actually when I think about it. I stitched, a Merry Chris. I stitched this motif, the words Ave Maria. I stitched, the crowns were there. I stitched these 2 motifs and I finished this one. I love working on Quakers. the mistake that I made is this is 1/2 stitch too close this way. But I'm going to leave it in. I'm not going to frog that because with Quakers, they allow, there's stitches between, and I can count off things that I know are correct to keep moving forward so that everything lines up. So this is where I'm at. And this calls for 2 colors. One was Current, I think they were Gentle Arts, and the other one was Reverend Blue. No, Blue Spruce. Let me say that. Blue Spruce and Current, they were by the Gentle Arts, but I selected a anchor thread, number 20. So this is where I'm at on that. And I just love this piece. I love working on it. And when the 2 days are over, I really would like to stitch more. So that's a good sign that you really, really like a piece. Instead of saying, okay, I did my 2 days, let's move on. Oh, and how many days did I put in that one? 10 days. I put 10 days in on that. Okay, this is a new start. Let's see if I can find the pattern. There's a few patterns in here. And this was to be for the WIPGO Your Smallest WIP. So I decided to start Lizzie Kate Love. And I did not give this 2 days because I probably, or maybe would have completed it within the 2 days. So I gave it 1 or 2 hours just to have a start so that I could say it's a start, it's a WIP. Because most things said WIP or new start or WIP. But the one with the smallest WIP was WIP, not a new start. So I had to make sure I had a small WIP. So this, and with the WIPs that I have, it was hard to think which is the smallest out of it. So I figured if I just start something, I'll know if this is the smallest. So this is stitched on a 28 count ivory. Actually, let's see, here's one that I did, one of them. This is called Family. This was a finish from Lizzie Kate. And I put a wool backing on it, some buttons. And I probably will try and finish them all like this and put them all in a little bowl. So the next one I was working on was Love with the little angel. So that's my start. And I'll just share the other patterns with you. Okay, you saw Family. And we have Joy, Caring, Faith, Peace, Hope, Giving, and Charity. So I am excited for these little ones too. Okay, so put that there. The next one I picked up was the New England sampler, which is stitched on a 28 count golden tan Lugana, and I put in 30 days on this. Try to get some of the glare off of it. Oh, why? I'll just show you my piece. So 30 days on golden tan Lugana and a finish. Yay! I love this piece. I loved working on it. I love the colors in it. The only thing I changed was they had the Roman numeral in the years under the anchors. I took that out. I had BK for her initials. I put my initials, which is LS, and I put some more birds flying. I was going to have them flying in the opposite direction. I said, but mostly birds fly together. So I wanted them all flying together. And that is, I'll bring it in close so you can see. Loved working on the alphabet. I enjoyed the border. I'm not a border person as far as a lot of flowers and leaves and different colors. I like a simpler border. I like stitching blocks of color. I think that's why I would never do a Haid. I don't think I'm capable. Okay, let's see what's in this one. Another new start. And this was, sometimes I get in over my head. Dena, half stitch, cross stitch, was her birthday on the 14th, and she wanted to start, and she said anybody who wanted to join her, start on something that represented her, a pet, an animal pet, a dog or cat. So I had this pattern a friend gave me, and I saw her stitch it, and I thought it was so cute, but it wasn't on my radar to start right away, but because of Dena's birthday. And then it works out that in WIPGO, it called for stitching on something of a pet nature. So I started Crochet a Go-Go, the little dog. Now, there's a lot of things in here that's very difficult to see because it's on such a light fabric. So I decided to do it on, I believe this is mushroom, but I had no name on it. So this is how far I've gotten. That dog is so cute. I think it was Vicky, the Virginia Stitcher. She did one with a penguin that was so adorable by the same designer. I don't know if it was called The Little Penguin. I don't remember, but she finished it, hers, and it is adorable. So this is how far I've gotten. So I'll be picking this up next month for WIPGO as well. So 2 days on the little dog. And that, I guess, would be, even though I've had dogs, I'll probably give that to Michael and Rebecca for their dog, Ozzy. You know, Ozzy doesn't look like this, but just because it's a dog. And then last night was the second night on this. So tonight I'll be working on Oh Holy Night by Stony Creek. But I worked on Little House Needleworks, the library. It's a hard picture to see. Under each room, there's the description of romance, classics, mystery, Western, and then the door to get in. And on the bottom it says, an open book is a window into the world. So right now I'm going to be working on the rooms, and then I'll go back and fill in the, like, really fill in work. And then I will continue. And this is stitched on 28 count Golden Promise Lugana. And I finished the second room. So this I put it in 6 days since I started. I started this at retreat in the New Jersey Stitch Retreat this past July. It was just a start. It was like 1 hour. So I almost don't want to count that day, but you know, I put in 6 days. And then, so I feel like it takes me 3 days to complete like one room because it was 6 days. So maybe like the third day that I finished this, then I started this. So the third day of this, then I finished this and I started the door section. So this is how far I've gotten, and I really, really love it. So when I pick it up again, I will be working on that door section in the center of the pattern. Okay, that's it for, I think I covered everything. If you have any questions, please feel free. I don't think I finished answering the last video's questions. I have to go back or just comment. Doing 3 videos like almost in a row was hard in keeping up with all the comments with everything else that's going on. But I didn't get any quilting done. I did get another bundle of fabric from the Fat Quarter shop, and this was called Peachy Keen Petite. It's a Fat Quarter bundle. And I called them up because I mentioned in my last video, I thought that the Fat Quarter bundles were going to have to do with the theme of the month. You know, like Halloween colors, November, fall colors, December, Christmas. But they said, no, it was like the new fabrics that were coming in. So I canceled my subscription because now I have like 12 of these and I haven't started any of them or using them. So with that being said, I have plenty to do in 2024, and that I would love to start opening these packages and really using them. So sometimes Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch puts out some really beautiful quilts, and some of them don't look that difficult, and sometimes she does a tutorial, and I think I could use these to maybe do some of those quilts. So that being said, I hope to get some quilting in 2024, start those 40+ projects that I have kitted and planned, and I'm not going to say no to knitting, but it's in the back of my mind. A friend, Pat, gave me some yarn of a woman who had passed on, and they gave it to her, and she knew that I knitted, so she passed it on to me. And you know, I want to use it. I want to be able to maybe even make some scarves. So I'm like this about getting involved in too many different things. I also would love to do some felt stitching, but time's limited when you're a grandma and you babysit all the time. So I have to prioritize, I guess, and I don't want to feel overwhelmed, but I want to feel busy. It helps. It helps to be busy. So I have a lot of cleaning in this room to do. And I have to get through Christmas because we're hosting 18 without counting the children. So with that being said, I'm going to wish everybody if you celebrated Hanukkah, I hope it was a wonderful one. A very Merry Christmas for those celebrating Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa to those celebrating Kwanzaa. Those are the 3 that I know of. If you celebrate something else, I always wish the best, always, for not just the holiday, but for always. And I hope the new year brings us lots of love, happiness, joy, and above all, health. So I don't plan on seeing you before the new year, but I'm hoping to see you after the first week of the new year, like maybe that Friday or Saturday. So until then, stay well. Love you guys. Thank you for all the support and comfort and care you give me with your comments and private messaging, cards. Just thank you so very much. And again, if you have questions, just ask. I'm more than happy to share whatever I can with you. Love you guys. Bye.